Assalamualaikum, my name is NAISA binti ARALI. I would like to present our group project Business Process Improvement, the National Water Services Commission SPIN. Our team member is ZILAWATI binti JIBIN, NAISA binti ARALI, NURHIDAYAH binti JAMALUDDIN, SITI NURHIDAYATUL AKMA binti BAKAR, and NUR'AIN NABILLAH binti KHAIRI. The National Water Services Commission's SPIN is a technical and economic regulatory body for the water supply and sewerage services in Peninsular Malaysia and Federal Territories of Putrajaya and Labuan. SPIN also has 320 employees now. The Commission regulates all entities in the water supply and sewerage services industry, including public and private water supply and sewerage services operators, water supply and sewerage with the Water Services Industry Act 2006, which was enforced on 1st January 2008. Contractors, permit holders, and suppliers of water and sewerage products. SPIN regulates the water services industry in accordance. SPIN vision is towards a sustainable, reliable, and affordable water services for all. And SPIN mission is to regulate the water services industry through fair, effective, and transparent implementation of Water Services Industry Act 2006. Objective of SPIN is create a transparent and integrated water supply and sewerage service structure to deliver effective and efficient services to user, ensuring that the available water supply is available and sustainable for the long term, including water conservation. And the last one is contribute to the sustainability of water courses and watersheds. Commission's function. First, advise the Minister on all matters in relation to the national policy, objectives of water supply and sewerage services laws, and to implement and promote the national policy objectives. Second, to implement and enforce the water supply and sewerage services laws, and to consider and recommend reforms to the water supply and sewerage services laws. And the last one is ensure the productivity of the water supply and sewerage services industry and the monitoring of operators' compliance with stipulated standards, contractual obligations, and relevant laws and guidelines. Next slide is personal equipment. Personal equipment have 4 items, which is computer, furniture, photocopy machine and printers, and telephone system. Next slide is internal and external client. Internal client, through a variety of channels, we interact with our key stakeholders to better understand their issue and better prepare the company to handle them in order to achieve its long-term economic, social, and environmental objectives. Regular engagement ensures that SPIN is informed of current and developing challenges, which is government, traders, and employees. External client in Malaysia, SPIN has provided services to industrial, commercial, and residential clients for the past 18 years, which is industrial, commercials, and residential. In core process of department, we have 3 items, which is core business, water supply and sewerage services, developing and enforcing policy to cut back on recycle and reuse wastewater and sewage, thermal sewage plant, and safety, health, and environment. In operation and maintenance, we have thermal sewage plant operation and maintenance. And in management services, we have associates, investment companies.
Description of as-is process. Name the process to be improved. SPIN is using manual form for new application and renewal of an IPA Type A permit water plumbers. For an applicant to carrying out any construction, connection, modification or repairs to water pipes and water fittings which will convey water from public means. The name of the process to be improved is Permit Application Process A, SPIN. This is due to the fact that no improvements were made during the 14 years period during which Permit A was introduced. Describe the process. A person or class of persons shall not be eligible to apply for a permit unless the person or class of persons holds the requisite certificate of registration as a registered contractor issued by the lembaga. The people involved in this current process are SPIN officials, Selangor water operators known as AIS, customers, bank officials, and post office officials. Renewal of a permit shall be made by 2 months before the date of the expiry of the permit. The Commission may grant a renewal subject to such variation or reconvention of conditions or imposition of additional condition on payment of the prescribed fee. The step, personnel or pupil involved, the output, time and volume. First, prepare permit application with the certifying agency, CA, as the current process does not have a button or space for customer to upload all the documents they need as soft copies in the online application. This is standard procedure for the Commission to register certifying agencies for the purpose of certifying compliance with the specific standards or technical codes. Second, application inspection. The Commission team must create a memo approval to top management outlining all requirements in the term of the permit application to proceed to application and renewal. Include fee payment, the qualification of the applicant, the requisite certificate of registration as a registered contractor issued by the lembaga. Third, the result of approval will be ready in 14 days. Once approved, SPIN will inform ICE by call and message to the applicant. This is as is flowchart. First, the application at ICE office was made. Applicant filled the form with fee. ICE will transfer the application to SPIN. Permit A will approve or not approve. Permit A license can be printed if the Permit A was approved, while if the Permit A was not approved, SPIN will reject with a reason letter, and applicant must fix the problem based on a reason letter. Then they must start from the first step, which is application at ICE office. This is as is cross-functional map. Divide by 4, which handled by applicant are application at ICE office, application fill the form with P, or if the application was rejected, they should send for execution of reject letter to ICE office. Second, administrator. ICE will transfer the application to SPIN. If the application was not approved, so reject letter will be given and informed to applicant and acknowledge the reject letter. Then, director and executive of SPIN will approve the Permit A or will reject the application and return to administrator. Last but not least, applicant can print out the Permit A. This is a fishbone diagram, which is helping the SPIN to find ways to improve the process. Other than that, it prioritizes further analysis and helps SPIN to take corrective action to solve the problem. SPIN have 3 problems, which materials, measurement, and method. Formatted problems, which are applicants can proceed their first application or renewal by online that more convenient, save time, and reduce the usage of paper. The second problem is measure. The applicant took about 14 days of working hours for the approval of the system. Unfortunately, in other cases that SPAN didn't approve the application, they should start based on the first step to get the license and took another 14 days of working hours to make it approved. Last, material which is took quite a long time to be processed and approved.
Now, let's move on to description of to be processed. So, this is the name and responsibilities of each member of the project team. First, we have Nur Hisham bin Sahlan, Senior Manager Business Support. He analyzing, revising, and presenting are all skills he possesses. He is also capable of negotiating, identifying patterns, and developing recommendation based on client needs and process improvement. He did everything he could to ensure that incoming and outgoing correspond workflow to guarantee that all activities run smoothly and that every mail is delivered to the relevant recipient. To boost customer contentment, he must provide efficient and effective operation as well as fast and correct reporting. He must always conduct a clearing, the planning process, and deliver it by the permit unit. Second, we have Halil Kushari bin Buyong. He is administrative correspondent. He is in charge of sorting hard copy incoming mail. Following that, he will scan all incoming mail into the folder, and the permit application result will then be generated and validated. He will use it to distribute all incoming and outgoing correspondent to line recipient. And last but not least is Suryanti binti Sulaiman. She is line recipient. She will receive all letters from the permit unit clerk and be prepared to delegate the day task to a subordinate. He will continue to review the related correspondent in the My e-permit folder and forward the email to the appropriate group. Next is the name of the to be process. Malaysian Contractor Portal MCP is a one-stop registration portal managed by CIDB for contractor in the construction industry. It provides a single sign-on facility for contractor to register with licensed agency in Malaysia, where the National Water Service Commission (SPAN) is one of the licensed agency. From MCP, contractors are able to sign into SPAN e-permit system, and their company information is shared with the e-permit system to simplify the application process. The following are the permit that can be applied if the contractor are accessing from MCP. As you can see, this is the features of MCP. MCP login using the website that has been stated in the slide. Please click confirm the box message by clicking the confirm. This pop-up it will show because this test environment is configured in HTTP, which is not secure, instead of HTTPS secure. The production environment will be configured in HTTPS. Next, contractor and public are required to key in the information on the online form and the process to create an account done by clicking the button I accept to create my account. After that, if your login action was successful, the system will redirect you to the announcement screen. Click on the next to proceed, and the system will redirect you to the user's home screen.
Assalamualaikum, Madam Mimi. I'm ZILAWATI. I would like to present about the flowchart of the current process of Permit A to B. Description of the to be process. The to be process shows the proposed new method or upgraded process of SPAN permit registration. By creating this to be process, it is making it easier to detect on a process based on as is process, which is more manual, while to be is dependent on modern life by using online registration. Besides, following the new modern life technology, this to be process also helps applicants to save more time when they can register or log in the website everywhere and anytime as long as they have the internet connection. It also helping the company to reduce paper, which also could be one of the reasons to save the environment. While in the As is process, which is more focused on manually, applicant need to go to place to register, fill the form, which use a lot of paper. This is why SPAN made a new solution by using the current technology by making the permit registration easier. As you can see here is a 2B diagram, cross-functional process map. There is a 9-step to complete the process of permit application. Firstly, applicant needs to log in MCP. Second, they need to fill out application form and upload IC and SKK. SKK is stand for Sijil Kecakapan Kemahiran. And then third, submit application and payment document. Next is payment record. Admin will record the payment requirement and the document. Admin will check the document complete or not. After that, admin will send a notification to the applicant. Next step is head of unit permit will accept the application and the payment. Lastly, after approve, applicant need to print the virtual permit, and after that is done. The benefit of the to-be process. First, digital transformation. Second is we can accessible from everywhere. And lastly is replace paper process. Okay, for the next present, I will pass to Nurhidayah. Thank you.
So let's go to the last part of our presentation, that is about conclusion. So in conclusion, we use two types of measurement, that is qualitative measurements and also quantitative measurements. So in qualitative measurements, the level of security and safety is measured, and also it measured the effectiveness of the system for applicants. Next, in quantitative measurements, the applicant will find it simpler to handle and keep their documents and information in the system. And lastly, in quantitative measurement also, it makes the applicant easier into an interactive system with a friendly user interface and easy to manage the application. So next, the factors that are critical to the success of the project. So first, we need proper risk management. So by working with risk management, employees can make smart risk decisions to improve the current situation to a better way to satisfy the needs of applicants or customers. Next, the factors that are critical also, we need documentation and knowledge system management. So in SPAN, as we know, they utilize document management tools and systems to manage their digital documents and get enhanced protection, access control, centralized storage, and improve search and retrieval options. Next, the factors of critical for the success in the project is SPAN should have successful communication. So SPAN or SPAN make sure that both formal and informal communication are used and implemented to discuss and come up with the best way to solve the problem together. Next, effectively manage the project scope. So as we know, Senior Manager Business Support as SPAN is Nur Hisham bin Sahlan is running his main role consistently and the best they can to perform the duties of strategic planning and oversight, as they are backbone of successful business planning. Next, the last point for factors of critical success is managerial support. If a company has a lot of initiative, managerial support might only be given to the most important ones. So one of the main causes of project failures is a lack of managerial support. Last point, the problem that the team might face in implementing the improved process. First, lack of knowledge and communication. So if he or she is not familiar with the system, he or she will be unable to help applicants use it effectively. Next, the security risk. Multiple users and passwords can access the system using various techniques. So the major sources of concern for electronic data are data thief, hacking, which calls for a high level of security to withstand any disruption.
And lastly, unable to access system when system is offline. So applicants are unable to make a new application and renewal process when the system is offline. So the applicant have an immediate request, so they need to wait until a technical worker fix the problem and the system is back to normal. So before back to normal, the applicant should manually submit their applicant. So that's all for our presentation. So thank you.